What's up, guys? Another rough start for the Indiana Fever, a tradition unlike any other. WWR comment already in the chat from Kevin Zwicker saying Clark struggling to start, but it's still WWR. WWR, the membership group for this show. If you would like to join, please and thank you. But anyway, a couple quick observations. Clark actually, I like her moxie off the dribble. She's playing really tough off the bounce. The thing I think she needs to improve on the most, and this would unlock her game, she's not a 3-level scorer yet. And when she's doing those Steve Nash probing dribbles, because she's seeing a lot of double teams and more attention than most players are going to see. But those Steve Nash probing dribbles in the lane, if she could just turn and put the ball up on the bucket with a mid-range, with a floater, then she'd be in business in that position. So I think that's something she really needs to work on. Now, she hasn't had an off season to work on anything. She went straight from college to the WNBA and maybe straight to the Olympics and back to the WNBA before there is an off season. But I think that is something she specifically needs to work on and improve upon in order to unlock her full potential at the WNBA level. A couple other quick observations. Obviously, Aaliyah Boston got in foul trouble early in this one, so we haven't seen how that fit is working or will work. Rough start for the Fever overall. Kelsey Mitchell's not played well in this one. She's a scorer. I like what she brings to the team as a whole, but she's had some takes and didn't finish the ball. She's struggled a bit in isolation as well, isolating herself and then not finishing the play. So that's hurt the team a bit. But overall, yet another rough start for the Indiana Fever. On the other side, it's not like anything exemplary is happening from the Sparks. I mean, their rookies haven't even really gotten going. AJ Schreiber. AJ Schreiber says, Caitlin and Cameron looking forward to this one in the WWR chat. I was just told there was an emergency. My dog is running loose in the neighborhood. Hey, Kevin, are you here? Let me see if see if he can hop on for me for a second and I find this dog. But yeah. Hey, Kevin, hop in the chat for a second. Let me go find my dog real fast, who apparently escaped the house. Young little Butters. Ernesto says, oh no, buttons. It's Butters. I just got to wait for Kevin to hop in here real fast. Oh, is she back? I think they got her. Never mind. They got Butters. Kevin, you can come on for halftime. I can hear that they got Butters. Chris asks, are they ever going to call these intense reach-ins on the players guarding Clark? Woke refs on her ass. Yeah, I mean, look, there is a certain level of physicality and extra oomph against Caitlin Clark. No question. No question. Part of that's the game and part of that's her adjustment. That's why I said I like she's tough off the dribble tonight. Like, she's not letting that get to her. She's going through. She's actually found some teammates, with some good passes. Sometimes they're still not ready to handle those passes. Again, my biggest criticism of Caitlin is that in-between game. She needs that in-between game. She needs to be able to pull up foul line extended to the three-point line. Because she had one where she had the probe dribble. She got to the foul line, and she could have turned and put up a little baby jumper. And instead, she was trying to find a teammate. Here she is handling the ball. Not much from Rakia Jackson or Cameron Brink, though. Good defense from Jackson on that play. And then Caitlin just lost the ball. That's on her. That's just a bad turnover. I don't know how many she has, but that was a bad one. Unforced. Good rebound, though. I like when Caitlin rebounds the ball because that just picks up the pace. And she pulled it from deep. Wow. She got fouled? That could be a momentum swinging play right there. That could be a momentum swinging play right there. Cito412B says, hello. How are you? Believe you might be new to the show. So I am saying welcome to you as you are in here for the first time. Amon Rush says, Caitlin started with early 3 points, but Sides still the coach. Expected another loss. I mean, oh no, what are they reviewing now? This better not be a 30-minute review. Oh, she's getting 3 free throws either way. Okay. How many turnovers does Caitlin have right now? Because you got the online merchants looking to like find her, just cherry pick her turnover numbers. 2. I'm being scolded via text message about how the dog got outside. I left the garage door open for my son because he's coming back from lacrosse. And I guess the door to the garage somehow was cracked open and the dog forced her way outside. Roman's dad, what up, Joey? He said, just stopping by to listen, brother. Joey Salvia. So the great Joey Salvia. Let me tell you a story about this guy. Way back in the day, any Michael K show fans, Joey used to be the third man on the Michael K show on the ones and twos. I love Joey's spirit. I love his vibe and his energy. We've recently reconnected, really just online over my current situation, but he is amongst the many who have joined this show now live. So what up, Joey? Good to see you, man. Good to hear from you. Appreciate you joining the chat. My text is blowing. Stop yelling at me in text messages. I'm doing the show. What do you want? AJ Driver says, how was the weekend, Robin? It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. It was not bad at all. As we had a neighborhood dads versus kids softball game yesterday morning. A lot of hanging out with the neighbors. We hang out with the neighbors around here a lot. Trying to remember. I mean, I worked a bunch on Friday and Saturday. Coffee Cat says, I'm impressed with how many rebounds Clark has been getting. Yeah, I mean, she's good at, it's like the 3 people I see in her game, the 3 NBA guys are Curry, Nash, and Kidd. And that rebounding and then outletting is what I see from Kidd. It was upgraded to a flagrant 1. Thank you for that. Crazy Bear 2.0 says hello. Hello, Crazy Bear. Ernesto says I just crushed the 6-pack like Stone Cold. I don't know how much beer Stone Cold actually takes in. I don't drink. Joey, I don't think drinks either, by the way. One more message on the screen. I'm rooting for you always. Thank you for the kind words. Thank you, Joey. We're all gonna. We bring that right energy. We're all gonna be good. What a pass from Caitlin! Like that's the thing she does really well. Knock it down, bang. That was a beautiful play twice from Caitlin Clark on that play. 1, she pushes the ball in transition. 2, she throws a perfect cross-court pass right into the pocket, and then she relocates to get it back, which is what Christy Sides talked about, by the way. Making quick decisions and then relocating. That's something Steph Curry does really, really well. And Caitlin did it really, really well right there. That was a beautiful, beautiful play. And Clark's off to a good start all in all now. She has to be statistically. Yeah. 10 points, 4 boards, an assist. That 40 ball is coming before too long. But they really need a win. The Deem says nothing like a good text scold while live streaming to get the juices running. Yeah, I mean, usually no one would come in here. First I get an entry and then I get a text scold. My bad. The dog will just take herself for a walk anyway. I don't know if anybody's seen Butters. I can grab her at halftime or something. But this is a 5-pound dog. Half Yorkie, half Maltese. 5-pound dog. But she likes to take herself for a walk. The only The only concern is there's a German Shepherd across the street and like fox and coyote sometimes, and that would give Butters a problem. She ran up on one of them. Martin Herman says Brink is going to outscore Caitlin. I doubt it, buddy. I doubt it. She's got some catching up to do. She's going to do that. Got some catching up to do if she's going to do that. Maybe at halftime, we'll talk a little bit of the Drake reference track league today, or maybe we could do another Kendrick fan or Kendrick supporter Drake fan video later if people want one of those, because I don't know how Kevin can show his face. Chris adds, Caitlin is only averaging like 8 shots a game. She needs to be around 15 to 20 shots per game. Yeah, I mean, well, look, all these things come with time. I really did think that the Fever were progressing before that last game against the Aces. And that last game against the Aces was a schedule loss. I mean, that was a schedule loss. No way the team was going to be able to win that game. Back to back on, that short of rest just wasn't going to happen. No big deal. But because of the attention around Caitlin and the drama, it got magnified. It got magnified. All right, Caitlin's got the ball now. Oh, why is this screen for? Oh, they're replaying it. Never mind. That was beautiful. Maybe their best play of the season. That one and the Boston block for the deep Caitlin 3, the 2 best plays I think I've seen all season. They call a foul inside. Kevin says, I show my face proudly. While Ernesto adds, Drake is hiding, and I think Kevin is hiding with him. You're hiding a child with him. I mean, how many more blows can Drake fans take? It's going to be tough. Oh, that's just lost. Let's go. Has Boston come back in yet? Nope. All right, Wheeler, what are you going to do with the ball? Here's the screen. Going backwards. Little pull-up. Nice shot. Nice shot. You guys can hit up the chat. I'll get as many comments as I can. Remember, like and subscribe to the channel. Comment later. I'll get back to you. Hit me with the thumbs up, the comments. Consider joining. When the chats really pick up, consider a super chat. All that helps out. I sent a message to the Facebook fan forum, but there will be a fantasy football league for the show. I know it's not a big football channel, but a good way for us to bond some of the tight-knit community, and for me to start working with affiliates and the like as this brand continues to build. Some new people in the chat today again. Like I said, Chris I saw, and Martin. Was Martin here before? Is Crazy Bear 2.0 been in here before? Amon Rush, have you been in here before? Cedo 412B, apologies if you have, but some of you haven't. Gary Suharik says, any hockey topics today? If anybody wants to throw a hockey topic my way, I'm not exactly an expert, but we can, I listen to the fans. I take requests. I'm not above taking requests. Not above, especially if, for members and super chats, but in general, not above taking requests. 26-22, 7 minutes left here. Oh, that's just a bad turnover. Just a terrible play. And of course, it leads to a foul. And how many fouls did Caitlin have? Was that a smart foul or not? Was that her first or her second? Because if that was her second, that was a dumb foul. Okay, I think it was just her first. Nigel Tufnell says, Wheeler, head down one-on-one, never looking for a teammate. I mean, yeah, she's more of a she's I think people are piling on her a little bit because there's so many Caitlin Clark fans that are piling on her teammates a little bit when it takes a team effort to lose as many games as the Fever have lost and to struggle like that. So I want to show some of these players some grace. I've seen some growth from this team. Let's see how the rest of this game goes. Ernesto says it's a closet football channel. Hey, it's what the people want channel. Look, I've had experience doing anything and everything under the sun. And they reached out to me. It's like a partnership. They have a partnership with the Circa in Vegas. So I just have to finalize the buy-in, but I wanted to get it done. Chris says, I've listened to a few videos, first time in the chat. I like the content, bro. Appreciate it. Hey, I appreciate it, the kind words. Anytime. Michael Connor says, what is the score? 26-22 Spark, 7:18 left in the second corner. AJ Schreiber says, crazy that the NBA Finals start on 6/6, even if Dallas closes tonight. Yeah, I mean, it's better for the product. It's a good thing. If that, people may be upset about it, but it's a good thing. Today's NBA basketball, and this goes for the WNBA as well, but especially the NBA. I mean, this WNBA condensed schedule is crazy. But in the NBA, so much square footage of the court is used nowadays that on every play, every trip up and down the court, if you go back and watch the 90s, right? And let's say the Knicks, the quintessential 90s team, Harper's coming across, whomever, they're dumping it into Ewing. Ewing's got his back to the basket. His defender's there. Maybe there's a double team. Regardless, everybody else is kind of chilling. Today, it's switch, close out on every possession with the most explosive athletes who have ever lived, which takes a toll on the lower extremities. And it's hard to do that over and over and over again. And I think that's one of the reasons, load management became a thing and you see so many injuries of that variety. All those things, factor in. So I think it's good for the overall product that the Celtics and the Mavericks wouldn't start until then. Johnny asked who I'm picking. Oh, man. I would say Boston. Due to two-way defense, versatility. But if the games are close, I'm taking Dallas because I think Dallas has maybe the two best isolation scorers in the world. And I don't trust the Celtics closing games like that. So if the series is close, I think if the games are close, I'm taking Dallas. Boston, for them to win, I think they're going to have to put some games away early, which they're capable of doing. I mean, by record and point differential and all those things, Boston was the best team in the league. Here's Aaliyah Boston with some kind of flip-up shot. I don't know what that was. Rough. Another rough possession for the Indiana Fever. Here's Rakia Jackson, rookie, LA. All right, good rebound by Boston there. Used their size effectively. Here comes Clark. Oh, almost look for that transition pull-up three. Gets it back. Another relocation. Good play. Clark just committed an offensive foul. Didn't get called for it. Oh. Almost hit another three. Gary says, you are a person in the media. Are you willing to share your thoughts on Jamel Hill's comments on Caitlin Clark? I did already, but I can do it again. What were her comments exactly again? Remind me. It was basically like her being straight and white played a role in her popularity. I mean, like I've said, Sabrina Ionescu is straight and white, and that hasn't seemed to give her the same attention that Caitlin Clark has gotten. There's been other very attractive women in the WNBA, other good white players in the WNBA. Nice drive by Caitlin Clark. I think, to have any real conversation, any nuanced, sophisticated conversation, you have to allow for the fact that many factors can be true, right? Like Caitlin's from Iowa or played at Iowa, where you're going to have a lot of fans who rallied around her who maybe weren't typically the fans of that sport or whatever. The white thing, does it factor in? Perhaps. I've used Eminem as an example, but Eminem is nice. And that's why he's, heralded more than anything else. And I think the overwhelming reason for Caitlin Clark's popularity is how dynamic her game is. The deep threes, the passes that just pop off, all these things. There can always be multiple factors at play, but I kind of think the whole straight white thing is a little lazy because there have been straight white players. I don't think Caitlin, and I don't want to talk about anybody's looks like that, but I don't think Caitlin has ever been sold as for her looks. Let me put it that way. I don't think she's been sold for her looks. So that was my thoughts on that. Hopefully that sufficed. Caitlin's really aggressive right now. Another take to the basket. How many points does she have? Got to have 14 points maybe? Yeah. Spot on. 14 points for Caitlin Clark. Maybe this is the breakout game, guys. Good defense. Let's go. Give her the ball. Push it, Kate. There you go. You got to knock that down. Air ball? Come on. Air ball. Coach was like, Lexi, I'll play you a lot if you just give it back to Caitlin to an open Clark because no one will. I mean, yeah, you got to see the movement there. I'm looking at the score. I know a 3 is coming here. It's a Jackson. Bang. It's funny when I guess the stream is behind because I got NBA TV on the stream here, and I got the box score up on my computer, and I saw that they had scored 3 points. So I was just waiting for it to happen on my visual. It's a 7-point deficit. 4 minutes left in the first or second quarter. Peterman says, about time Lord Lundberg support the fire coach of Fever movement. Not there yet, guys. I mean, if you could point out, like in this game, what has been the coaching problem in this game? I know, like, the results aren't what you want, and when that's the case, the first thing people blame is the coach. But let me know what the coach has done wrong in this game to be calling for her to be fired. Because you can't say Caitlin hasn't had the green light in this game. Caitlin's got almost as many shots as she's averaged per game in this first half. She's been super aggressive. She's had the ball a bunch. I mean, she's taking command of the team offensively. Here she is again, aggressive. Nice take by Mitchell this time. You got to score the ball. Oh, foul call, though, at least, right? Peterman says she's not utilizing Aaliyah Boston. Aaliyah Boston hasn't even been in the game. She got 2 fouls in the first 5 seconds of the game. By the time I sat down and started watching it, she was on the bench. Coffee Cat says watching an air ball when it was a wide open shot is a little painful to watch. Look, we've all shot them. Makes or misses, I can never get too upset about. Nobody's attempting to miss shots. You got to let them fly when you're open. No one's attempting to miss shots. Chris says she definitely doesn't need to be fired. She tends to make questionable sub decisions, especially around momentum moment. But other than that, she's fine for now. Yeah, I mean, the game, that Storm game, that was the one that bothered me. The substitutions bothered me in that game. But that was one game. Overall, I think the team is getting better. I think that she's made some changes. Fag Benley is now in the starting lineup. She's made some changes. I'm not sure what the problem with the coach at this moment is, other than people don't like the results. Other than people don't like the results. Ernesto says it's not the coach's fault, it's the players. They're not moving around, spacing people, more spacing. Look, I mean, it's always a combination of these things. It's never one thing. Let me go back and see if I missed any comments. We could talk about the NBA Finals too. What time is Lively out for the Mavs though? I think if Lively's out, I think the Wolves win that game. Good rebound by Brink. Oh, Jackson just forces it up. Gets the foul. Has a chance to extend the lead to 8. Yuck. Clark has 14 points, 5 rebounds right now. On the other side, Rickea Jackson has 8, heading for the line for more perhaps here. Unless she already got one of those. Yeah, she already got one of those free throws. 9 points. 9 points for Jackson. Christy Sides, man, the Clark fans wanted her head from the beginning, from jump. Johnny says, what would be the nickname you give to Caitlin Clark? I just like CC personally. I don't think, it needs to be all that complicated. Sometimes that's the easiest. Good pass. Fag Bentley just misses the baby jumper. Good setup by Clark on that one. Caitlin's playing well. Travel. If it is a 1 or 2 possession game, it won't be that big a deal. It's been a rough start for the Fever, and they're still right there. Cameron Brink has a very interesting build. She's got like one of those Durant-esque kind of builds. Nice shot by Wallace. Peterman says, why is Jamel Hill still allowed to speak in public? Robin, the racism is unbearable. I mean, is it racism? I would think that would be more qualified as race baiting, if that's what you thought she was doing. I'm not even sure where Jamel works right now. She certainly has turned... look, her identity is known in some ways by that now. For worse or better. Whatever it is, I'm sure it gets engagement. I don't know. Again, I don't think I don't think it needs to be thrown into the conversation so much. I'm doing my best, like when it's a big topic of conversation, or I'm asked directly about it. I'm going to talk about it. I'm not going to ignore anything ever, but I'm trying my best to focus on basketball now too, because I really don't think that is what people are actually talking about in real life. I mean, you watch these games, you watch the crowd. I don't think that's what people are talking about in real life. Mitchell's struggling today. That's hurting him bad. What's Mitchell shooting for? Has she made a shot yet? 1 of 6. But she's really struggling. That's hurting them. 8-point deficit for the Fever. She's got to knock down this 3. There it is. That's a big makeup shot by Mitchell. She ain't afraid. She's going to keep stroking it. She's going to keep stroking it. Pause. Oh, another wide open 3 missed. They're getting good shots. They're getting good shots. Almost halftime. Give me your questions for halftime. Let's do a Q&A. Load up as many questions questions as you can. I'll get a Q&A going for halftime, if that sounds like a plan. I see some questions in already, but I will wait till halftime because I need the questions at halftime. Here's Clark. Whoa, that is a step back. Oh, that was a deep one. That's probably the deepest shot I've ever seen attempted in one of these games. So for anybody who doesn't think Caitlin Clark has the green light, there you go. Brink wide open. All right, there's the half, 37-32. Some missed wide open threes. Chris said I would have shut the game off if she had made that. Coffee Cat says the Fever are getting start open shots. If they start falling, it's a different game. I agree. All right, hit me with the Q&A. Any topic you want to hear about at halftime. This game, anything else is on the table. Sean Davis, WWR member. How's everything been, Robin? Lots of cool stuff going on in WWE yesterday. Stuff is getting interesting. You know, the Liv Morgan thing is super interesting. For those of you who didn't see and aren't familiar, so basically, Liv Morgan is the women's champion right now in WWE. She got the championship because Rhea Ripley, who was the biggest star in WWE on the women's side of things, easily the biggest star, got injured. And she was injured because of Liv Morgan, like accidentally, but it was Liv Morgan involved. And Rhea was part of a faction called the Judgment Day, and she had Rey Mysterio's son, Dominic Mysterio, the dastardly scoundrel that is Dominic Mysterio. He referred to Rhea Ripley as mommy. And now it seems as if there may be an affair going on between Liv Morgan and Dominic Mysterio. And Liv Morgan kissed Dom right on the lips yesterday. It says this, according to this post, which was like 3 hours ago, it's gained over 60 million views across all of WWE's social media platforms in just under 15 hours. That is wild. And to me, that is the most interesting thing going on in WWE right now. Is that. Because when Rhea comes back, oh boy, the heat is going to be on. So that's the most interesting thing about WWE at this moment. Johnny says, do you want Becky Lynch to stay with WWE or go to AEW? I have a guess. I think Becky is going to take a break and then come back to WWE. Look, she'd be a good signing for she's though almost at that edge phase where I'm not sure what else there is for her to do in WWE. You know, she went to NXT. She's won the title. So I could see her being like, if she wants to get paid and have an easier schedule, she would be a boost to AEW. I think Dave LaGreca said this on Busted Open today, and I think I agree with him. Becky Lynch is probably a bigger star than Mercedes Moné. And so she would be a big star acquisition. My guess is she takes some time off to get rested and then goes back to WWE. Kevin Zwicker says, let's talk a little double or nothing. What was that spot Edge tried to do? He broke his tibia? Of course he did. He jumped off the cage feet first. I liked MJF's nod to Triple H with the jean jacket. That was dope. And MJF is a big bolster to AEW for sure. Like, you know, he has genuine star power. Deckard 2049, Fever total wins for the season. Over under 10 wins. Let's go over. I can't say under. Let me look at their schedule real quick. Hang on. So I think they'll win 2 of these next 3. Tonight included. Then they'll lose to the Liberty. Then they got a break. They'll beat DC on the 7th. Probably lose to Connecticut. Got a chance against Atlanta. The schedule lightens up a lot, guys. You know, they've played such a over easy. I'll take the over easy. I'll take the over easy. Sean adds, I think Becky takes some time off, then her and Seth comes to back together if and when Seth is ready. That makes sense too. We got to remember Seth is out for a minute also. I did a short on the Liv Morgan, Dom Mysterio bit earlier today. I'm still working out the best formula for covering all my interests because this has become such a, it was organic. I didn't plan it that way, but the women's basketball stuff has taken on such a hold on this channel and the viewership and the growth. And I have some other stuff in that arena planned for you. But I've got we've got the wrestling and rap stuff broken down into a playlist for now as I figure out the best way to cover that. Because I got it's funny, I got on Facebook, my reels, I've got these viral Caitlin Clark reels and then viral Kendrick Lamar reels right next to each other. It's pretty funny. Kevin Zwicker says we don't want Becky until she's there. Once Becky's there, you're going to tell me how big time Bex is the GOAT. Like you're saying MJF is the GOAT. It's too bad your favorite is a fraud. As AJ said earlier today, reach out to any Drake fans. You think the Sky take them down on Saturday. I think that one's going to have so much juice. Saturday at noon, huh? That is Kevin, you should go. Tickets are... Oh, no, this is in Indiana. Huh? It's in Indiana. Well, how far is Indiana from Chicago? It can't be that far, is it? Got to be 3 hours? That's just my random guess off the top of my head. As a, East Coast bias. Kevin, how am I hating on Drake? Honestly, how am I hating? You have the link. You can pop in if you want. How am I hating? Dog has a reference track out. He was on the shop talking about how he harnessed the energy from the loss to Pusha T to make songs like Mob Ties. Then a reference track comes out that is somebody doing Mob Ties. He clearly just copied it from them. It was ghostwritten for him. With a rapper with a ghostwriter, what the happened? And Kendrick, Kendrick is called him a fraud on Euphoria. Everything Kendrick said was taken out to be correct, turned out correct. Everything he said. DS Sai Sahande says it's fake news, Robin. You can't believe everything on the internet. What's fake? What's fake? That reference track ain't fake. That ain't fake news. I heard it. I heard it. Chris says, I take back my juggler comment. This guy is amazing. What are we talking about? Something in the halftime show? I must have missed that. 3 hours is a great guess. So it must be 3, yeah. All right, AJ, you going to the Fever and Sky game? You can get in for $22, man. You should go. That's a hell of a trip, though. What's up, Kev?
The Lumberger, what's up, buddy?
What's up, man? I mean, how was I hating?
Cuz, Robin, let me ask you a question. And this isn't a rhetorical one. I want to answer. Are you in the music industry?
No.
Then how do you know this man's creative process?
Oh, I know that was a reference track that he used. I mean, because I heard it and his lyrics. I mean, it was the hook. It was the first verse and everything.
It was a totally different lyrics, by the way. And I could send you about...
Turn your mic down.
Okay. It was totally different lyrics. Hear me better?
Yeah. That everyone's like my ear. You got to turn your mic down.
It was totally different lyrics. All right. And I could send you about 5 or 6 different reference tracks that Drake has done for people.
Okay, but Drake doing reference tracks for people is meaningless. It was not totally... The first verse was the exact same lyrics.
How is it meaningless?
Because no one's saying Drake has never written a song before in his life or can't write a song for somebody else. No one said that. But when you profess yourself to be the greatest MC, you can't have songs written for you and ghosts written for you and verses written for you. We're not talking about Dr. Dre here, who has had reference tracks before. I mean, everybody knows Jay-Z wrote Still DRE. We're not talking about Kanye here, who has never been thrown into the best rapper conversations. If we had these reference tracks for Hove or Kendrick or Nas or any, and there's not a reference track for Kendrick, that's fake. That one is
Then
fake.
how do you know this is? Then don't.
Because
Okay, so that's fake.
This has not been
That's
debunked.
fake.
Yes,
That's fake.
because
but this is real.
Yes, I heard the actual predated reference track from Kendrick himself.
Nah, bro. If Drake is real, then Kendrick's real too. We gotta stop this.
Just admit that it hurt that Mob Ties he didn't write.
It doesn't hurt at all because you want to know why? Because I know that this is the man's musical prophet. How do we not know that he sent Rory a reference track? Then Rory said, well, this would be my take. And then Drake said, well, this would be my take. And it's a collaboration process.
Because we have evidence of this happening in the past.
Yeah, and you didn't know what it was in the past either.
I don't know, man. We do know what it was. Everybody knows what it was. It's obvious.
A collaboration process between two greats.
Vori and Drake?
Vori is a very good writer.
DS Sunday says, what did Drake do to you?
You know, DS knows ball. And I hope that DS...
There's always... No, truth be told, there's always been something about Drake that bothered me. And now it's all being, first, I mean, he is fraudulent. This is a ghost-written song, for one. Two, I do like Drake with the melodies more than I like Drake when he acts tough. I have slightly resented Drake's popularities, I suppose, because I did not think the quality matched the popularity. And as a student of the game and hip hop and rap, I've never put him on any GOAT list or anything like that. So,
well, that's your own mistake, Robin. I have a feeling that Drake could cure cancer, and you'd be like, you know what, that was something really nice that he did. I'm glad that he did that. And then you would turn around 2 seconds later and be like, but that AIDS problem, he didn't do anything about that.
Yeah, but now you're just making up hypotheticals and theoreticals. If you can take what I'm actually saying about the things that are actually happening and poke the holes in them, fine. But you can't just make up things and poke holes.
But I do constantly. And that's what's so great about the supporter and the fan series. That if you are in this chat and you haven't checked out, you should. Because I know a lot of you people are in here for the WNBA stuff, which is good. Great. Love the WNBA stuff. But the supporter and the fan stuff on the side is a nice change up, and it is very entertaining if you are into the hip hop and wrestling stuff.
There you go. And Kevin and I are bringing that stuff to you, Kevin. Always appreciate you hopping on, man. As far as what Drake did to me, I don't know. Nothing. A diss track got to be written by the artist doing the diss. Well, to be a great rapper, you cannot have the stuff written for you. Like that's just it's life of lifeless on these mic devices, and I didn't write. You got to write for yourself. Deckard 2049. Pat Riley in the 90s turned his Knicks into a physically intimidating team to compensate for their lack of talent. Should the Fever do the same for their team persona? I just don't know if they have the. You need the right personality types for that as well. I don't know if the Fever have that personality type on their team. I don't know if the Fever are wired like that. Like, who would be the one to do that? That would be what would I would have to ask and wonder about. Is if Ernesto, no ghost writing. You mean writing, but writing, same thing in this case. There's some writing going on also. What did Kendrick say on Euphoria 2? Am I battling ghosts or AI? Because after Drake did the AI joint, and it ain't 20v1, it's 1v20 if I got to smack dudes that right with you. I mean, you can't just, I'm sorry, it has to hurt that some of these songs that people were taking pride in, big fans of, he just had done for him. We almost at the second half here. Copterman says, new to your channel and really enjoying it. Thank you, Copterman. Is that right? Did I read that right? Thank you. I appreciate that. Try to get the new comments up there. Obviously, the member comments up there. Obviously, super chats. We'll get up there. We'll do a regular show tomorrow, meaning like not a watch along. I don't know if we'll do how many different games we'll do watch alongs for. It tends to be I'm just doing them when they fit the normal schedule of the channel. Um, that's when I've been doing them. But let me know how you guys like mixing them up. I always like to survey the audience for these things as well. The audience is super important. Somebody had asked for hockey. Ernesto, give me the hockey updates. Let's go Rangers. The game is about to start. You can be the hockey correspondent for today's show because we had a hockey request. Copter Man says, I feel like you have reasonable takes compared to some of the unhinged views out there. Huge Clark fan, but let's be reasonable and fair. Thank you. That's really what I'm trying to do. You said you're new to the channel, but really what happened here is I started this channel out of therapy, necessity, various reasons. You can go back and see the the reasons behind it. But when I started talking about Caitlin Clark and then expanding into women's basketball, I started seeing the audience grow. And it was just a fascinating story for me because it's a once in a lifetime story that we get to see something like this. So I got really excited to cover it. And I have a lot of experience in sports media. I've worked for ESPN, Sports Illustrated, SiriusXM. I still work for Sirius now. And I just thought, let me dive into this and really unpack it the best way I know how. And that's how I try to be. Is I never bite my tongue. I always give you my unfiltered thoughts, but I'm also trying to be reasonable and not fly off the handle. And as I said, I love the fact that there's so many Caitlin Clark fans, but some of the Caitlin Clark fans are a little irrational because I think they just became Caitlin Clark fans, and they weren't basketball fans before. They weren't Fever fans. They weren't WNBA fans. They weren't any fan but a Caitlin Clark fan. So then anything that goes against Caitlin Clark, they got a problem with. And really, in the last several, I haven't seen any issue. I have not seen an issue from Christy Sides in today's game. I'm sorry. I don't know what to say. I am a big fan of Teme Fagbenle, by the way. Her ability to finish on both sides of the rim is super impressive. And the pace she plays with, the speed she plays with is very impressive as well. Here comes Caitlin all alone. Can get the Fever within one. She makes the layup. It was almost too open. Like, is she going to miss it? Vadim says, I like the Fever body language heading into the second half. Here we go again. Yeah, good start to this second half for sure. Clark has 16 points. She's doing everything, as the announcer just said. She's lucky she didn't get called for a foul there. That would have been a big momentum swing. Give it back. Give it back! That's like Mitchell has to swing that back. Oh, good attack, though. You got to make it. Mitchell's just struggling from the floor today. She's a real scorer, though. Over the season, that's going to stand out for them. Can Boston make a three? Bang. Boston, Aaliyah with the three. Let's go. I'm rooting. I've been harsh on Aaliyah Boston, but because she hasn't played well and because I am concerned about the fit, but I want to see her play well. This is a good start to the second half for the Fever, guys. Might wind up being the best game of the season for Caitlin Clark. No coincidence, too, that they had a few days off before this one. I think that really helped. Get the rebound. Let's go. Let's go. Clark, pull it. Oh, just missed. Good rebound, Aaliyah. Back to Caitlin. Oh, you got to shoot that time, Caitlin. Oh, nice take. Never mind. I was wrong. Vadim says Clark has 2 steals and 2 blocks. Yeah, she's hooping. It's worth a tweet. Caitlin Clark with a star performance so far. I rhyme. I'm a poet. Don't even know it. Yeah, she's having a good game. And she's so much more than a shooter. So much more than a shooter. Who is the rookie of the year favorite right now in the WNBA? It's Caitlin Clark by a mile. That's the it's so funny what the discourse would have you believe. But I bet you, let me look at the odds as they are right now. Caitlin Clark is like a heavy favorite. Heavy favorite. See if I can pull it up. It was minus 1,000 the other day. I don't know what it is today. But more or less, they're, if you want to win any money, you either have to spend thousands of dollars on Clark or bet on somebody else. Let me log into my DraftKings real quick and see. WNBA. Futures. Where the hell are the futures? They take them down? I don't see any future bets on the page right now. Here, player awards, betting odds, FanDuel. MVP, no, rookie of the year. So Caitlin Clark is still minus 750 on FanDuel, which means she is a significant favorite. Yeah, some people are saying it's Brink because it's nice to hate on Caitlin Clark. I mean, Caitlin Clark has been far and away the best rookie in the WNBA. It's not even close. She's off to one of the best starts in WNBA history. Like, I think only Candace Parker, you could say, has had a better start to a career than Caitlin Clark. It's just, it's she's just under this microscope. I mean, Clark, we watched Caitlin Clark play. What is happening in the fan forum right now? Oh, I know John Blake. How does he get his podcast inside the show? I've seen that podcast before. But I think I've been on it before. I've been on a lot of podcasts. Chris said MSNBC has her fourth best rookie. That is hilarious. Like, she's so far and away the best rookie. It's not even a conversation. Polar, raspberry, lime, Kevin, or AJ, sorry. Ernesto, I'm going to put this up because you're not the first person to ask me this today. Have I had any interactions with the late Bill Walton? No, I have not. That one hurt yesterday. He's such a character, a larger-than-life character, was Bill Walton. Always seemed like a great guy. Obviously was a great player in his time, too. So RIP to Bill Walton. What a unique character and voice, and obviously great player. That sucked. Death is the worst part of life, right? Fever playing D in this quarter. Here comes Caitlin again. Oh, nice pass. Aaliyah, make the shot. Vadim says the View has her cut by Friday. It is wild. I mean, this has got to be Caitlin's best game of the season, I think. Who was it that was talking about? Something happened the last 2 days with Clark. It might be as simple as rest, but she's consistently way more aggressive tonight. I've seen moments of it, but not the whole game like tonight. Yeah, I mean, I think it is rest. I think it is. The rest aspect makes it. People act like. Anytime you bring up something like that, it's excuses, but it's not. It's just analysis. DS says Brink shoots 50, 40, 90 right now. Yeah, on so much lower usage and percentage. I mean, Brink's shooting well. That's all well and good. But her usage is so much lower than Caitlin's. and the amount of attention she's seeing is so much less than Caitlin's. And I think Caitlin probably has her beat in every statistical category when it comes to counting stats. I'm not saying Brink hasn't been great, by the way. I want to expand the coverage on this channel and talk about other women in the game. And that's the only way to naturally grow things and branch out. It's not like, Caitlin Clark is the reason this is happening. There's no question. But she can't be the only reason it continues. So I don't want to come across like I'm shading anybody else. The odds will tell you that Caitlin Clark is the overwhelming favorite for Rookie of the Year. It doesn't even have to, opinions don't even have to come into play. The odds tell you. But Cameron Brink has been as has Rakia Jackson, her teammate. They got two really good rookies in LA. Fever have to be careful here. Can't take the foot off the gas. Man, my stream feed is way behind the score right here. We're about to get a 3 from both of these teams. Nice pass. Mitchell's going to knock that one down. Bang. Caitlin is hooping tonight. And then it gets it back. This is a good game. Nurse with the 3. Great pass from Clark to Boston. And great pass from Clark to Fagbenle, who finishes. Caitlin's an unbelievable passer. David Peleez says, I can't watch the game. I will give you updates. It's on NBA TV. Kevin Zwicker says Sexy Red just showed up on NXT and announced she's the host of the next NXT PLE for all you Graps heads in the chat. Look, she's got a better future in wrestling than she does in rap, I think. She is not good at her chosen craft, so maybe she should give the other one a try. AJ says, I'm going to see Eminem in October. Looking forward to it. He's got a new album dropping, right? At the end of this month. I think I saw that. Chris Had's looking like good ball now. Chris is a new addition, pleasant new addition to the chat here. Clark has taken a seat. How many, what's her stat line looking like? 18, 5, 4, 2, 2. All around game. Melissa Smith in. I like Melissa's hair. Good pass off. Good finish by Mitchell. There we go. Come on, Fever. You got to culminate this in a win. This could be a season-defining kind of... Look, the Fever could still make the playoffs, guys, by the way. You know that, right? Like, the Indiana Fever can still make the WNBA playoffs. I think 8 out of 12 teams make the playoffs. So they got a chance with the way that their schedule is going to lighten up. They just need to start picking up wins. Edward T says Brink and Clark are the only 2 for Rookie of the Year. They both have up and down games, but it's still early. Yeah, look, I mean, is it possible that Cameron Brink could win Rookie of the Year? Sure. It's highly unlikely, I would say, because one, regardless of my opinion, but I think when you're taking into account the role and the attention that Caitlin has, she's the Rookie of the Year. But at the same time, I think she's only going to get better too. And regardless of my personal opinion, you look at the odds, and that's about as unbiased as anything can be. And the odds tell you that Caitlin is the heavy favorite to win the Rookie of the Year. Heavy favorite. This one would be a tight one. He says, believe it or not, Eminem is playing at a show in a Formula One race in Austin. That's why I'll be there. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. That's Eminem. Formula One race. Kevin, you're saying you found somebody found you at the mall? Ernesto says Eminem is the greatest, the GOAT's living legend. He writes his own stuff. Yeah. You know, to me, the three greatest rappers of all time, to me, after this current battle, Jay-Z, Eminem, Kendrick Lamar. Those are the three best rappers of all time. To me. That is my opinion. And I could back it up and argue it, but that is my opinion. Emmanuel de Sosa. Sometimes we forget that it can take up to 2 years to build a strong team. Fever will get there. Agreed. And Fever are getting there. The Fever are so much better than they were at the beginning of the season. It's not even close. They just got to turn some of these into wins. Again, this team can make the playoffs. I believe that. They can make the playoffs. They're going to win the games. There's Kelsey Mitchell. She started to get going a little bit, right? She's hit a couple of shots. Well, she's still 3 for 12 from the floor, but 2 of them are threes, which makes a difference. Up to 10 points. Clark is still getting a rest, but I like this substitution pattern from sides tonight. If Clark's going to sit, it should be now, and then play the whole fourth. Versus the other game where she took her out midway through the fourth because she hadn't taken her out yet. Kevin says he found a fan of the supporter and fan series and he bought a football and I signed it. Follow your dreams. He almost died laughing. How do you, like, where did he see it? He just randomly saw it and then saw you and put 2 and 2 together? Emmanuel de Sosa, I'm into metal, but I have to confess that Eminem is impressive. See, that's where being white helped Eminem. The metalheads. I'm only half joking. No, but Eminem's talent is, ridiculous. I think Jay's the GOAT, but M is in the conversation along with now Kendrick. I mean, Kendrick, what he did in this nice play by Mitchell there, by the way, and the Fever opened up a 7-point lead. What Kendrick did in that battle is legendary stuff to me. Out of control good. Vadim adds, as bad as the start was, they're only 1.5 games out of the playoff spot. Yeah, I think they can make the playoffs. I'm not kidding around. And it would be good for us, right? If they made the playoffs. But I absolutely think they can make the playoffs. And they might be a much better team by that time, right? Like, who knows? Let's not put any ceilings on the team. They got to win games like this, though. If they're going to make the playoffs, this has got to be a win. This has got to be a win. 4-point lead, minute and 40 something left. Oh, no. Are they losing now? How are they losing? My stream is way behind. So a 3 there. Where are we going to have a turnover right here? And another 3? Or just a miss and a 3? All right, here comes the other 3. To put LA back in front. Pull up. Cash. McDonald puts them back up. This is all with Caitlin on the bench. 9-0 run in a minute and 13 seconds. Yuck. 5 threes in the quarter for the Sparks. Mitchell with the step back three. That's off. And we're going to get another bucket by LA. Hamby up ahead. How many does Hamby have? She's had a great start to this season. 14-9. 4-point lead. That's rough. Noticeably different without Clark on the floor. Yeah. I mean, she's their best player. That's the other thing about it. Everybody wants to be so harsh on Caitlin. She's their best player. See what happens when she gets back in. Whole quarter to go. Ernesto says Rangers can't get out of the zone, for those of you interested in the hockey. He also says he'll be in Paris 2 weeks before the Olympics. Oh, the Eminem show was on the Apple list because Kevin had asked if, the Marshall Mathers LP on the Apple. I think the Eminem show is better than the Marshall Mathers LP personally. Eminem show I think is the best Eminem album. Marshall Mathers LP is a little angry for me. I mean, some great iconic songs on there. Not like it's bad or anything, but I prefer the Eminem show. I mean, you hear the announcers, gotta give Clark a rest, but need her on the floor. That's how desperate they are for her to be out there. That'll be a 4-point game going into the fourth. Sid says, do you think anything was wrong with Becky Hammond's comments about Caitlin Clark? Look, I think Becky was trying to stick up for her team and the women on her team and the women in the WNBA. She was trying to make a point that there have been some really good players in the WNBA who haven't maybe gotten enough shine or enough attention. And when you watch Asia Wilson play, you see that. Like, Asia Wilson is awesome. And Jackie Young is awesome. And Kelsey Plum is really good too. Like, that's just a great team. She was trying to squash all the negativity around Clark. I mean, we saw some of that too. I'm just kind of done with all that in general. I hope it is something that gets put into the past and the rear view. Was there anything wrong with what she said? I don't agree with the substance of everything she said. Was there anything wrong with her saying it? No. Not a big deal. AJ says, Angry M is good. I do like Recovery the most. Won't Back Down featuring Pink is that song's okay. It feels like a Call of Duty song to me. I prefer Relapse, actually. I like Relapse. He messes around with the flows on Relapse. Eminem show. Marshall Mathers. I'd go Eminem show. I mean, Relapse might be my second favorite. You know what I also liked? I liked Music to Be Murdered By, the first one. Oh, he says that's because they use it. Well, it sounds like it sounds like a song made for a Call of Duty commercial. Eminem does a lot of those kind of songs. They're not for me. I like when I want to hear him rap. Not like like that. Not as much. Like the Angry M at his best is like Till I Collapse. That's a great Eminem song. Deckard 2049 says, I'm not a fan of teams tanking for draft picks, but if I'm the WNBA, it's difficult to improve rosters via trades and free agency. I prefer they get a high pick and draft Paige Beckers. Look, I mean, Yeah. I'm not focused that far ahead, but I can see what you're saying. Michael Martin says I like early M. I mean, people say that about all artists. Look, Eminem, he hit the scene like nobody's business. When Eminem jumped on the scene, it was something to be witnessed. I mean, I remember the Marshall Mathers LP bumping out of every car. That was after uh, Forgot About Dre had come out and Chronic 2001. Because Slim Shady LP, he blew up off Slim Shady LP. Then he really blew up off Marshall Mathers LP. But it was Chronic 2001 in between. Chronic 2001 in between. And that was a big thing for him. And then it launched his career at Eminem Show, 8 Mile, massive. Then he kind of fell off for a while and like did not like his output for a long period of time. I hated the Marshall Mathers LP too. I hated Revival. Hated that record. It wasn't until he put out that Kamikaze project, which was the start of him getting it back a little bit, I thought. And then Music to Be Murdered By. And I think he's rebounded a little bit since then. So I'm interested in his next project because of that. Foul on the attack. Come on, Fever. Yeah, where's Cameron Brink been? That's a good point. Still 9 minutes left. Screen from Boston. Clark. Oh, good 2-woman game there. You got to shoot it, Aaliyah. Don't hesitate. She's going to the free throw line, but don't hesitate. Shoot the ball. Kevin asks if people want to hear our reactions to the new Eminem album that's dropping. Michael Martin's a big Kevin fan. I know that. I see that. Chris, what is NF? Apologies if I'm not picking that up off the top of my head. Nigel says, I really wonder if Sides grasps the concepts of momentum. She's a buzzkill. What has she done in this one? I really don't know. Again, I don't know what Sides has done in this one, to be honest, either. I don't think this is Sides' fault. She can't keep Caitlyn in the whole game, every game. She's going to get hurt. She's going to get hurt. I don't know the rapper NF. Sorry. Not familiar. Robin, I meant to say when your show starts, you got to wait 5 to 10 seconds before you get rolling because it kicks us off. Oh, right. I did not know that. Thank you for the note. Good cleanup by Aaliyah Boston. Big play. Big play. I did not know that. Maybe I should take the commercials off. I didn't realize it did it right at the top of a live stream. Fever were on a roll, had a lead in Sparks. Yeah, I know the Sparks went on a roll, but that doesn't. I don't know what. My point is, I don't know what Christy Sides did to allow that to happen or what she could have done to stop it. That's what I mean. Caitlin just went for the steal. Hopefully it doesn't turn into a 3, and it does. Tough shot. That one hurt. Good pass, Caitlin. Aaliyah Boston's shot gets blocked too often. She's got to keep the ball up higher. Sid says NF is amazing. Your homework assignment is to listen to some MF, and your mind NF, and your mind will be blown. Okay, good to know. Thank you, Vadima. I did not know. But then, like on the replay, I don't know what to do about that either. I just should fill like time at the beginning with some randomness. Who are your favorite rappers, new rappers right now? What qualifies as a new rapper? I mean, Kendrick Lamar is now currently my favorite rapper. I like Cole. I like Rhapsody. I'm trying to think of who else. Aaliyah Boston with a bad foul. I mean, I'm not into the lil, the babies and the lils. That style is not my favorite. 1-0. Let's go Rangers, says Ernesto. All right, so Sparks ball. They miss. All right, let's go. Come on. Let's go. We got to win this one. Fever. Caitlin! No, GH. Caitlin needs to expand her mid-range game. She needs to be a 3-level scorer. That's the next thing for her to work on. But she's never had an off season, really. She went straight from college to the WNBA. She's going to go straight from the WNBA likely to the Olympics and then back to the WNBA. I expect that between this season and next season. As is, she's amazing. But that's the next phase to her game, I think, is the mid-range game and the floater. But she's got 21, 5, and 4 with 3 steals and 2 blocks right now. She's doing okay. Kevin, I did not know this. Cole used to tie your shoes as a kid at the skate rink. So where are we at right now? Still a 1-point game, right? 7:13 left according to this box score, so not sure what's happening. Should almost put the game cast on. Kickball. AJ says Eminem's going to have a new song called Forgot About Drake. Kevin says AJ's turning Foley on the chat. That means bad guy in wrestling. Yep. I mean, look, Drake, it's been rough for Drake. Oh, bad pass, Caitlin. Probably her worst pass of the game. Let's see. 7 minutes left. Sparks ball here. Up 1. Oh, is that? Damn. Sparks are about to hit a 3 right here. Dang, that hurts. Fever in trouble again. Tough shot. Foul. Just going to free throw line. So they're going to be down 6 here. AJ Schreiber says, I'm a huge fan of the topics being tossed around in here. Feels like I'm at the barber shop. Michael Martin says, Robin, did Apple get the right Hove album? Most people would tell you yes. Me in a different era would tell you yes. I think there's a few Jay-Z albums that are in the discussion and in the argument. I'm a huge, huge fan of 444, which is, I think, a contemporary rap classic. The Blueprint, though, for the longest time was my favorite album. The Black Album has a case just on the strength of the iconic records. And then people would go back to Reasonable Doubt. But I have no issue with the Blueprint being the highest Jay-Z representation. I think that would be the Family Feud answer. Nothing wrong with that. American Gangster is slept on, Kevin. It's a great fall/winter album. Great fall/winter album. Fever, I just don't know what the issue with the Fever is here, you know? Like, they're not even playing poorly, but they're going to lose again, it looks like. Caitlin with a rough turnover. Just go up. Just go up. Draw the foul. How many turnovers does she have in this game? 7? Rough. Some of that's on Caitlin. Bad turnovers here. A couple of them in this quarter. That'll probably do it for the Fever. Sid says CC is a good and a bad passer. AJ Shriver saw something about that Wu-Tang single print album is going to be loaned out to a museum soon. Oh, the one that the Martin Squirts whatever guy got? Yeah, Wu-Tang have 2 of my favorite albums ever. Enter the Wu, 36 Chambers, and Liquid Swords by Jizza. 2 of my favorites. Yeah, Chris, you're right. Go up or pump fake. Just draw the foul. You're in the teeth of the defense. Go up. That was cloud chasing by Drake, Kevin. I mean, this is a rough one. But he says, good luck with your post stream in person scolding Robin. Maybe I'll delay it. And yeah, Ernesto, I didn't know. So everybody's getting a commercial at the beginning. Okay, interesting. Interesting. Michael Martin, I like Gravel Pit. Gravel Pit's a good song. It's way, way past the beginning of Wu-Tang, though. But it's a good song. Oh, man. Bummer they're going to lose this game, most likely. Still some time left. Let's see I'll give it another minute or two before I hop off here. Regardless, guys, thank you as always for your participation in this chat, for the variety of questions, comments, responses we've gotten in here. Yeah, let's fill it. Let's get an ad up there. Do some sales work for me, guys. Chris says, "What effect, if any, do you think the Fuse?" Oh, I think it'll hurt. If they keep losing and losing and losing, it's going to hurt viewership, no question. I mean, I'm not going to tank it. As long as Clark is playing well, it won't tank it, but it's going to hurt it. They got lucked out right there. Game not quite over yet. Oh, did something else happen? I'm looking at the box score, and now all of a sudden they're down more. How does this turn into 2 points for the Sparks? Rough. Another turnover, that's why. Just under 5 left. Will Brady says, "I went to school with Kevin and he was crazy about Drake. Then he's never changed." Well, obviously not. Might want to consider it now. GH Sen says, "Clark needs to stop these cute passes and keep it simple. 7 turnovers is unacceptable." I agree. Some of them are, she needs to take it up strong and try to draw the foul. I mean, these are learning. I don't mind the turnovers being high because of the volume of touches and everything, but yeah, it's going to have to get better. There's no question. And there was a couple rough ones in this quarter in particular. But I agree. Oh, that's it. All right, guys. Another loss. We'll be back with another show tomorrow. I'm going to give up on this one. Coffee Cat said the Sparks can't miss from 3, it seems. What are they shooting from 3? 13 to 21. Yeah, that'll do it. That'll do it. And they face guarded right after the free throw shot. All right, guys, that'll do it for tonight's stream. She is going to have, I agree with that note, Chris. She is going to have some turnovers. Appreciate you guys. I'll be back with a show tomorrow. We typically do these Monday through Thursday around this time. I'll make adjustments, for events and the like. Let me know what else you want to see on the channel, what else you want to hear from me. Please, your feedback is much appreciated. Honest to goodness, much appreciated. You can comment, you can hit me up on other social platforms. If you could please like and subscribe, that would help me out. If you'd consider membership on the channel, super chats for the next one, that would help me out as well. But you're already helping me out by Rangers are on the 2-minute power play. I clicked the wrong one. You're already helping me out by being here, as AJ says, peace, and ask you to join the fan forum over on Facebook. Michael adds that Connecticut is pummeling Phoenix. Connecticut's been impressive. They're impressive. Good team. I mean, we saw them at the beginning of the season. I'm impressed by Connecticut. But yeah, the Fever going to have to win some of these games. Peace out, fellas. Or, as I like to say, Yeet.